All right, so just come on up and just stand up nice and tall. Feet are about hip distance apart, maybe like 12 inches, and just kind of ground yourself. So pushing your toes into the floor. And from here, I just want you to reach your arms up and get out that big morning stretch. So interlock your fingers if you want to, but reach those arms up. And I just want you to lean one way and the other. And bring those arms down. I'm just going to lead you through some very informal salutations. So just to stay kind of with me the best that you can. I'm going to be on an angle so you can kind of see both angles. Okay. So again, I want you to just kind of feet are hip distance apart and just kind of roll out those feet a little, get the kinks out, kind of push forward like you would if we were doing like wrist rolls, and just roll it around. They should pop or crack a little bit, and then we'll be ready to go. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna inhale our arms up, and you're gonna reach all the way up, and then you're just gonna exhale, and I want you to just fall forward. And right now you're probably feeling really, really, really stiff, so I just kind of want you to bend your knees, straighten them out, and just kind of do what you need to do right now to loosen up, pulse forward, turn it. I want you just re-exhale your hands down to the floor. And then inhale, and I want you to bring your hands right below your kneecaps and just kind of push your butt out and try and flatten your back as best that you can. And just relax. So everything that we're doing, I'm going to try and be very vocal and descriptive so that you don't have to look over at the camera, that you can just kind of keep your head and your neck relaxed. So I want you to exhale again, just let your body kind of be dead weight in the front. And then we're going to rise all the way up. Bring your arms with us. And then exhale, bringing our hands back down to the front. And we're going to do that again. And now we're going to kind of hang in that forward fold pose. And I want you to try to slide your fingers underneath your toes. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale our arms back up. And then you're going to forward fold. And I want you to almost try and tuck your fingers underneath your toes, relaxing your neck, relaxing your head, and pulling with your arms, your chest to your thighs. Try and straighten out your legs. And again, we're still just kind of loosening up those kinks. We're sending blood down to our joints. And then inhale, come to that flat back position. Your legs are straight, you're pushing your butt back, and we're letting our hamstrings get a little heated here. And then exhale again, relax your neck, your head, your shoulders, just kind of hang. And we're going to come up and we're going to inhale those arms back up. And then we're going to bring them down. All right. So now we're going to add in some like lunge stretch work. Like I said, so for those of you who just came on, it's going to feel like a little bit of a yoga flow, but I'm going to take kind of the yoga verbiage out of it. So we're just going to still do the basic stretching and just follow along as best that you can. If you have a block or a band, you might want to go ahead and have those in the ready. All right, so feet again, shoulder or hip distance apart. Inhale those arms up. You're going to exhale, tuck your fingers into those toes. We're going to hold it here. So now you should be feeling a little warm. It was a little bit easier for you to get into this position. I want you to inhale, give me that flat back where your butt is pressed to the rear. And then you're going to drop down to the floor again. And what I want you to do now is just press one leg back to the rear into that runner's lunge position. Your hands are still out in front, okay? You don't need to pull them back. And all I want you to do is I want you to kind of roll your body forward and back, keeping your butt out of the air. So you're just kind of shifting forward and back. And then I want you to step that foot back in and then just step the other foot out. And same thing, I want you to shift back and forth. And nothing really formal here. Your hands can be wherever you need to feel balance. I just kind of want you wiggling open those hips. I always picture like Mr. Tin Man. He needs to put the little lubrication on his joints. All right. And then I want you to step that foot in. We're gonna inhale back to our flat back position. And I want you to now, instead of just having your hands resting on the shins, try and drop your elbows now to your thighs and bringing your chest closer to your thighs, keeping your legs straight. Feel the backs of your legs heating up a little bit more. Always relax your neck, your head, and your shoulders, and breathe. All right, let's slowly roll up. If you have a block, now is a good time to grab a hold of it. We're going to do stretching from our side. We're going to do like a side angle. So, like I said, similar to yoga, but we're not going to flow into each pose. We're just going to position ourselves there. So I want your left foot to be pointing away from you, and your right foot is going to be pointing towards the front of you. So if you were just at naturally looking ahead position, that point or that toe is pointing this way, one toe is pointing this way. The block is going to go kind of like in front of that foot a little bit if you need it. You can just set it there. All I want you to do is reach for it. You're going to bend this front leg, you're bending it. You'll place that hand on your block and just reach forward. And what you're doing is you're bending that knee, so you're feeling this hip opener here, but we're also pushing this knee to the rear. So we're not letting that knee tilt inwards, okay? So from a different view, I'm gonna put my block here, and my knee is not coming in, I'm not twisting. So the idea is to focus on being open. All right, I want you to hold it here, and I want you to look up at your hand, and I want you to lunge it. So it's like a side lunge, weird lunge position. Keep that knee focused and open. And I want you to think about your hips that you're opening here, okay? So keeping those shoulders stacked, keeping the knee on the open, and focus on driving down towards the floor, opening up those hips. Breathe. Biggest trick here is to not let your body kind of start to slowly come out of it, but to re-engage and push yourself back into it. Make sure your knee is not rolling inward. Good, now straighten out that leg. So now you're in the same position. I'm going to just change my angle. So instead of that leg being bent, that leg is now straight. And what I want you to focus on here is making sure that your hips are not facing towards the floor. Turn those hips out and away. And this is what the block is good for, because now you can make it higher. If reaching down to the floor is a little hard, then you have that little elevation to kind of help you. But again, look at your hips. If they're turned and facing down towards the floor, I want you to do that little rotated open and out and open up. You should feel this all along the inside of the toe that is pointed away from the front of you. Good. All right, bring that arm down and just slowly come on up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, okay? So the whole idea, this is the opening position, right? So now we're going to turn our foot the other way. And right now, I just want you to like rotate inwards and then rotate open. So you can see that rotation inwards, it completely works like your glutes a little bit. And then when you open, it works the part that we hate stretching, which is our hip flexors. And that's what we want to focus on today. So fixing those feet, now your left foot is facing forward and your right foot is facing away from you. If you're using the block, go ahead and put it down. And we're going to do that like lunge position. Come down, find that block. Arm comes up. And you can always use that elbow to keep that knee pointing away from you. Keep it open, again, and focus. Pay attention to your body. Is your knee trying to roll in? So for me on this side, you can see my fingers aren't even flat on that block. So I'm extremely tight on this side. So I just turn my block on the higher angle, but I'm still making sure that knee is pressing open, that my hips aren't turned, and I'm stacking my shoulders, and I'm still driving that knee forward, almost like I'm going to that lunge position. Pushing down towards the floor, pushing that knee away from you, push it open. Good. Now I want you to straighten that leg out, and you can replace that block to wherever you need it. And we're gonna keep the leg straight, and we're gonna do the same exact stretch. But now we're just kind of leaning, we're tilting from our side. The hand is coming down and reaching up. So now we want to make sure that our hips are not kind of rotating over to the front. We're not there. We are keeping them open. Good, so look at your hips, okay? So try to open them up, staying in that position. I took a break to look at all of you. I just want you to kind of work on twisting them open. So when you're straight, your legs are straight here, it's kind of hard to feel you want to rotate your hips. So kind of pull your hips under and then look up at your hands. All right, you can come up out of that and then turn both of your toes to face the front with you. I want you to walk them out to where you feel safe and comfortable. So don't go too far where you feel like you're gonna lose it and you're gonna end up in a straddle and then in the emergency room. But I want you to just kind of fold forward, and if you have a block, use that block to kind of help maybe brace you. You put your hands on that. If you have the ability to put your hands on the floor, then do that. But the block is there to help you. So if you want to get those legs out, now again, this is hip flexors, okay? So I want you pushing your hips, you're driving straight down to the floor. So from the side, you want to keep your back as flat as possible. And my hips, I'm just kind of going heavy in my hips. So I'm not pushing my butt back. I'm heavy on my hips and I'm pushing down. If you feel you're going to lose it, drop one knee and then drop the other. And then pop yourself back up and then lower yourself back down. And then just kind of hold it here. So your hips are leading. So it's like dead weight right in between your legs. It's trying to like be like a magnet on the floor, and push it down. Again, a little bit of discomfort. A couple more seconds, hold it, hold it, hold it, push through, and then drop one knee, and then drop the other knee, and then pull yourselves back in. Good, all right, stand back up. I'm gonna walk those feet out again. Doing okay? All right, so if you need that brick, you can put that brick in front of you. From the straddle position, I want you to lean forward. Hands are either on the floor or on that brick, walking out as wide as you can so your back is nice and flat. And we're gonna do an opener. We're gonna open to our side. So again, you're here, you're straddling, and I'm focusing on my hips pressing down, not so much my butt going up, but my hips leading the way. And I want to open and stretch. So I'm still pressing my butt back. I'm still pushing my hips into the floor. And now I'm just twisting, opening my chest. Lots going on here, so focus. All of your body should look good and in alignment. So your hips are stacked, your shoulders are stacked, your toes are within equal distance or in the same line, legs are straight. If you're shaking and starting to sweat, good. All right, bring that arm down. Again, you can switch to the other side. So your legs are staying straight. You're looking, you're trying to stack those shoulders, your hips reach up while still reaching down with your hips, up with your hands. Go ahead and bring that arm down. And we're going to do that straddle stretch again, one more time. Letting those legs kind of just work their way out. Get to where you feel uncomfortable. Push forward. Let those knees kind of come down slowly. And then bring it in. Good job. All right. Put that block off to the side for a second. What I want you to do is you're going to take your right leg, and on the inside of that leg, if you have shoes on, just grab the tops of your shoe. If you don't have shoes on, you're going to grab your big toe with your 2 fingers. And I just want you to do your best to straighten it out. Like this. Okay? So grabbing a hold of that big toe. Don't rip it out of its socket. So the best way to do it is with your 2 fingers and loop it through and grab a hold of that big toe. Or just grab the front of your sneaker or kick your sneaker off. So you're coming through the middle. You want to hold it out. And try to stand up as tall as you can and feel that stretch. And then open it up if you can. Let's see. So you want to grab through the inside. Good. Feel that hamstring elongate here. Go ahead and put it down. And we're going to do the other side really quick. Same thing. So reach down, grab a hold of it. Good grip. Straighten it out. And then pull it open. You should feel that pull right behind your knee. Good. I think I jinxed you, Tammy. You had it. And I said good, and then you lost balance. All right, bring it in. Okay, ladies. Now, grab a hold of that band if you have it, or the belt, anything that you are able to get your hands on. We're just gonna loop it underneath one of our feet. I want you to do so it's split between those feet. Come down, and I want you to wrap the band around your hands once, and then you're going to use your strong biceps to pull your chest to your thighs, keeping both of your legs straight. So use that band if you need to wrap your hands again. So pull it in, pull it in. Take a look at your feet. Look down, relax your neck, head, and spine, and use your arms to pull your chest. And feel that discomfort happening in the backs of your legs, and breathe into it. Relax your chest, lose the tension in your shoulders. Pull down and just breathe. It's a really good hamstring stretch. Slowly come up out of it, kind of bend that leg. It should really feel like it gets hot. You're starting to heat up that muscle. All right, we're gonna do the other side, so go ahead and switch. And like I said, you can wrap your hands around it both, or 2 times, 1 time, wherever you feel it. I like to do it twice, and then when I kind of get down low, I do it again, and I almost like yank my chest to my thigh. You have the discipline to pull past that point where you feel like you can't go anymore. Relax your head, relax those shoulders, pull with those biceps, that chest to your thigh. Trying to keep those legs as straight as possible, and let your butt kind of sink towards the rear. Let that hamstring elongate. Slowly come up out of that. We're gonna drop down to the floor. Oh man, lots of things cracking. Okay. All right, we have 2 more things with the band or the belt. then we're gonna move on to our final couple of minutes. So what I want you to do here, 1 foot only. You're gonna wrap it around, so pick whichever one you want it to be. And basically, you're gonna do exactly this. So I'm lifting, I'm using my hands to pull up my leg, and I'm sitting up nice and tall, and I'm pulling and I'm lifting and I'm feeling it. So my leg isn't even completely straight, that's okay. I'm pulling to where I need to feel it. Posture, the straighter you go, the more you will feel it, but it's not necessary. And I just want you to pull. If you don't have a band or a rope, just try and grab the backs of your legs and pull up. The band just kind of helps you a little bit because you don't have to do as much work. And your foot can kind of hang on that band and you don't have to really fight it. Keep pulling it. Keep pulling it. Good. Feel that discomfort. I don't want you to take it now to the outside. So you're just kind of letting that leg kind of come down and open up to the side. Don't let go of it, okay? And then take it, I want you to pull it over to the other side. So now you'll feel it on the outside of that leg. Good. All right, bring it back down center. And we're gonna switch and do the other one. So it's like a pulley system, right? So we're like yanking, we're cranking that leg up. We get it up there and we hold it here. And then once you feel you're getting a little comfortable and settled in, make it a little higher. Never settle into the comfort of a stretch. There's no magic happening there. Just like in a workout. If you're used to the size weight and it's easy for you and you just keep using it, you're not doing any improvement. Come on, lift it higher, sit it up, pull it up, feel it. You know. And then let it kind of fall open to the side. Feel it on the inside. Nice. All right, and then go ahead and pull it across. This one's the devil for me, that IT banded hits. All right. And you can let go of that band. And if you have that block handy or pillow or whatever it was that you were using, go ahead and grab that. And I want you to put your knee on top of it, like this. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna push your body back, trying to get your hips to be on the floor, but your knee is elevated on that block. And hold it here. So again, make sure you shimmy your body down and you're trying not to arch your back, right? Try to push those hips down into the floor. Give a couple seconds. And then I'm going to ask you, so you're going to keep that knee on that block, don't move. I'm going to ask you to take that leg, kick it out to the side, and press down. Okay, so you're on the block, and I want you to press down with those hips, keeping yourself on the block. So by being elevated on this side, you're giving your hip flexors more room to actually stretch, because right now you would be already on the floor with not anywhere to really go. So by giving this elevation here, you're allowing this hip to kind of go deeper than it normally would be able to. And I want you to kind of add a little twist for the last couple of seconds. And relax, come on out of it. Pull it in slowly as our joints might feel a little tight after you come out of these poses. All right, so put your knee, your opposite knee on the block, and you're just pushing back. And again, flipping those hips under, driving them down towards the floor. And then go ahead and pull that knee up. in, and then extend that leg out and just kind of twist. Twist that hip flexor in, down towards the floor. Make sure your butt is not lifting up into the air. You're turned underneath. Press it down. That leg in. Okay. Keeping, now going back to the other knee, or the other leg rather. You're going to take that block and you're going to sink back. And I want you to put it right underneath your thigh so you can have it at this height. If you need it to be at this height, and you'll come up. If you can drop it down to this height, put it here, and come up. And if you could put it down at this height, put it here, and come up. Okay, so I want you to use a block or a pillow or something. All right, and sitting up nice and tall. Slowly get into it. Doesn't need to be fast, like I said. And you can do it from any height. You can use any object, big or small, but something that's going to give you maybe like 12 inches. And then readjust. So if you started low, then maybe come a little higher. We have about 20 more seconds, so play with it. Stick it in there. And then sitting up, okay? Try not to hunch and lean forward. So the bigger object you have, the more comfortable you might feel in this position. And try to flex that foot, front foot maybe. All right, now just scoot that heel back to come out of that, and then we're gonna switch your legs out, okay? So when you're here, don't force the position, but a little bit of kind of like, I'm gonna hold it here for 2 more seconds instead of pulling out of it. That's where that flexibility comes from. So whatever object you have, okay? So you're gonna slide it under, putting it here, and then like kind of rest on it first. Find where you need it to be, and then sink into it. Don't force it. I'm just kind of sitting up tall. If you want to change the position, maybe try and get it a little lower, or maybe you finally just got comfortable, don't move. All right, I'm gonna try and go a little lower on this side, which is not normal. Good. Okay. All right. I found my discomfort point. Remember to breathe. It's normal also to feel like you're working up some kind of sweat here. Good. All right, pull that leg in. And then the last thing we're going to finish with the block is going to be a seated. And block or pillow, again, whatever it is you're using, find the widest part of it, and I want you to place that in between your feet, and you're going to pull it in, and you're just going to lean forward. So it's the widest part. And remember, when we lean forward, we roll onto our hips. We don't just hunch our backs, okay? So we're up tall, pull forward. Breathe into it. Try to get those hips folded over forward, pressing those knees down to the carpet or to the floor. All right, take it, and then what we're going to do is you're going to turn it from this to this, okay? So it's a little bit smaller. See? Same thing, right? Pull those ankles in, press those knees down, roll on top of those hips. Big exhale into it. Feel that discomfort, but stay in it. push. I always call this stretch like the magic trick. Because once we get to the end without the block, you're like, holy smokes, I'm so flexible. All right, so we're going from this to this. So we're turning it long ways. Put it up in there. Get those ankles pulled in close, sitting up tall, rolling forward. Press those knees down to the floor, squeezing that block or what pillow, whatever you have. Come on, push yourself into it. Your hips should feel super flexy and bendy now, those hip flexors. All right, you're gonna take that block and you're gonna toss it away because you don't need it anymore because you just created the most flexible body ever. You're gonna pull those feet into your hips. You're gonna press those knees down and you're gonna lean forward. You are gonna be amazed at how flexible you feel right now. I'm just gonna hold it here for like 15, 20 seconds and then you are finished. Don't forget to keep pressing those knees down because eventually you kind of start to maybe come up. And always just refocus. Re-roll into it, pull those heels in, reset everything. I want you to sit up. I want you to take your hands and I want you to actually push your legs together with your own hands. I want you to straighten them forward. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little twist. So we're going to kind of put your body back together. So we just lift that leg over and we're going to close your hips back up, okay? Nice and informal. And then switch to the other side. So sometimes, like stretching or when you do an actual yoga practice, it leaves you feeling sore and you're like, I don't understand. I was stretching. Why am I sore? Come down onto your knees if you can and just twist. And it's because you are forcing your muscles to work in opposite directions. But the benefits that come from being flexible increase your ability to lift heavy things. So just go ahead and inhale. And then exhale, push your belly button down to the floor. My abs are feeling yesterday's finisher. And inhale up one more time. And then big exhale, look up at the ceiling. Drop back into child's pose. And just sit here for a second. Reach those fingers out, push those elbows down, drop your butt to your heels. And breathe. If it's quiet and you're not near your kids yet, just enjoy this last 10 seconds. All right, come out of it. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoy your Sunday. Great work.